Tonight, I'm going to share with you the 5 words of advice that I got the evening before I started my law practice that enabled me to retire from the practice of law before the age of 40 with my health, my self respect, my integrity intact, and also financially secure as well. And I don't usually tell this story because it's like a rags to riches story. It's a little immodest. It happened a long time ago. But I think in this context, it's kind of instructive. So I went to West Virginia to open a law practice because I followed the man who, at that point, I accepted as my spiritual teacher. I had met him in my first year of law school. He was the best I could describe him as an enlightened hillbilly Zen master. I ended up writing a book about him. And I was quite smitten, and I wanted to be enlightened, and I wanted to be a lawyer, and I decided I was going to be both of those. It was the night before I was to open my practice. I had $1,000. I had a storefront office that I rented for $150 a month. I had one piece of furniture, which is a rocking chair. And obviously, I was a tad apprehensive, and I'm sure quite insecure. And my teacher gave me these words of advice. He said, "Just make yourself of service. Just make yourself of service." And I did. And I'm sure that was it's one of the keys to my success, and something that I recommend for others as well. Now, you don't need me to preach to you and tell you that you should do good things, that you should make yourself of service. That's not mine to do. But often it becomes a bigger deal in our minds than it needs to be. We think, oh, we don't have the time. We're never doing enough. What should I do? What shouldn't I do? And I want to offer some guidance from my own life experience that I think might help you in 2 forms. And the first is this Friday for our webinar, our guest is David Morgan. He's a friend of mine. He's a successful attorney. He and his wife are the founders of a nonprofit called Love Abounds. And what they do is they help refugees from sex trafficking and from modern day slavery. And they spend months in Zambia, Sri Lanka, India, these different countries, and help them. And it's a beautiful story. And I want us to hear the story because obviously if he can run a practice and do this, I know that we can do a little bit more of this and that, a little bit more voluntary. But the other way that I can be of service is that I'm going to share with you the 5 ways that we can be of service in our practice that don't require heroic measures, just things that we can do every day. And there's something my first teacher told me, said, no spiritual effort is ever wasted and no service is ever wasted. And so I'm going to share those with you over the course of 5 days. But right now, more than anything, 2 things. I want you just to rest easy and follow your heart in terms of where the service is, and also encourage him to shut up the webinar. He's just a great guy, and I would love as many of us as possible to be able to take advantage of his wisdom and his heart and what he's been able to accomplish. It'll be inspirational and instructive. So I look forward to seeing you Friday and throughout the week.